Meghan Markle and Prince Harry may be preparing for a return to the United Kingdom, the very country they once rushed to leave behind in search of fame, freedom, and global stardom. Ironically, as their Hollywood glow continues to fade, the spotlight they chased now seems to exist only in the place they abandoned.
Would explain the fact that she is literally plotting to return to the United Kingdom, a country that she has decried as racist, a country where, as a result of her treatment of the late Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, she is despised, she will be booed. She's not at threat, by the way, in terms of her safety, but reputationally, absolutely.
So the same country where her treatment of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip reportedly left lasting resentment among the public. While security experts say Meghan wouldn't face physical danger, reputationally the reception could be harsh. Booing wouldn't be surprising. Hostility, certainly.
It helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life.
They framed the decision as a personal choice, one rooted in mental health, privacy, and a desire for a quieter, more peaceful life.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have signed a multi-year deal to produce films and series for Netflix. Now,
Harry famously said he was willing to leave behind everything he'd ever known to protect his family and move toward a calmer future. But what followed told a very different story. Instead of retreating from the spotlight,
everything is temporary.
It's over. Harry and Meghan's estimated $25 million podcast deal canceled after less than a year.
My wife and I were moving on.
They left to become Hollywood power players. And at first it looked promising. A multi-year Netflix production deal. A high-profile Spotify podcast. A memoir that promised to tell all.
Nearly entered rehab yesterday. That is the biggest pile of crap I've ever seen on television in my life. Somebody texted me and went, "You don't use yogurt, you use cottage cheese, you
Embarrassment for executives, who later questioned why it was approved in the first place. As one industry insider bluntly put it,
Everything career-wise is over for her. It's collapsed.
celebrity momentum slowed dramatically. Speaking engagements, once optional prestige appearances, reportedly became paid necessities. Harry now allegedly charges 6 figures plus expenses just to show up. These aren't passion projects anymore, they're survival tactics.
And a source said it's clearly a paid gig. Look, they won't confirm it, but a source in the industry says this sort of thing is likely 6 figures plus expenses.
Is now increasingly viewed as a personal branding vehicle. Critics argue it has become more about Harry and Meghan than the veterans it was meant to spotlight. Engagement numbers have dropped, viewership has declined, and public interest appears lukewarm at best. At the same time, public approval in the United States has taken a sharp hit. Recent polling shows Harry's favorability sinking dramatically, with Meghan's following close behind. Once celebrated figures, they now struggle to command the attention they once had effortlessly. Another major factor driving this UK return? Security.
The Duke and Duchess lose more support from the American public. Since December, Prince Harry's popularity has sunk 48 points, while Meghan's has dropped by 40. That sees Harry's approval sitting on -10 and Meghan's on -17.
The planned trip comes as the US-based couple are set to hear the result of their taxpayer-funded security review. And of course, when it came to the taxpayer-funded security review, it wasn't all as it seemed. This was Harry and Meghan trying to bounce the British government into giving them.
Harry has been locked in a long-running legal battle to regain taxpayer-funded police protection while in Britain. His argument is that his status and threats against him warrant the same level of protection he once had as a working royal. Critics argue taxpayers shouldn't foot the bill for...
The Invictus Games has sadly become basically just a big publicity stunt for Harry and Meghan. It is not about the veterans. It is not about the competition. Nobody watches, nobody engages with the competition itself. It's all about Harry and Meghan. And it's just unfathomable to me that taxpayer dollars are extended on this event that doesn't generate any money or income.
Which offers a respectable reason to return. Yet critics argue that even this would inevitably shift media focus away from the athletes and back onto Harry and Meghan themselves, and something that has become a familiar pattern. Behind the scenes, there's also the reality that no new business pipeline has taken shape. Even Hollywood, once a key motivation for leaving royal life, appears to have cooled on the couple. Executives are cautious. Interest has faded, and everything they touch seems to stall or fail. Which brings them back to the UK. It's the one place where their titles still carry weight, at least for now.
Obviously know that the Sussexes have made a lot of money off their titles, given the fact that they have a Netflix documentary and they had an interview with Oprah and now Harry's book Spare. They're very aware that this wouldn't have happened if they weren't members of the royal family and they didn't have these titles.
That's why speculation around title removal has intensified. Many believe that once Prince William becomes king, formal steps could be taken to strip the Sussexes of their HRH status, a move.
So I think the understanding is that when he becomes monarch, they will be formally stripped of the HRH.
And I'm sure Prince William has a lot of support for that from the public.
Absolutely.
Montecito Mansion has become more of a gilded cage than a sanctuary. The UK represents familiarity, identity, and relevance, things Harry appears to be missing. Recently, he was even photographed knocking on random doors in London while trying to find a friend's house.
Because out on the road, he's not with Meghan Markle. He's not with the children. So those close to him are even acknowledging in a puff piece to Roy Anika, he's not happy in the Montecito mansion, which has become a prison to him that he desperately tries to escape.
Now, the prince has been caught on camera knocking on wrong doors as he searched for a mate's house in London. And look, the pictures are just quite fascinating, I'd say.
This move back to the UK, basically, or this attempted move back to the UK, is an acknowledgement of failure, a failure of their